unlocking your world of creativity with best-selling author and brand innovator, Mark Stinson. This episode is brought to you by White Cloud Coffee Roasters, where every bean tells a story of adventure. Visit whitecloudcoffee.com and use the code CREATIVITY.
Welcome back, friends, to our podcast, Your World of Creativity. We love talking to creative practitioners of all kinds about how they get inspired and how they organize ideas, and of course, how we gain the confidence and the connections to launch our work out into the world. And I'm so happy to have as my guest today, Cathleen Ireland, singer, songwriter, producer. Her work blends all sorts of pop, soul, and R&B. Kathleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
In 2024, Kathleen was awarded the Best Adult Contemporary Song by the Artist Forum Music Competition for a song called Drive. She co-wrote and co-produced with multi-platinum producer Ryan Tedder. Good stuff.
Thank you.
And now she's kicked off this year with the release of a very uplifting song called Coastin from her latest album, In the City.
I feel so high, I know I gotta cool it. I feel like I just dodged a bullet. I'm thankful, grateful, I'm so blessed to be here. Riding this wave all the way to the shore. Breathe it all in, it's like I'm on tour. Wind at my back, it's so good to be here. Coastin', coastin' to the Back Island. Coastin', we're coastin'.
It's a great song, Kathleen. I was bopping around with it this morning before the interview, just getting in the mood.
Thank you. Thanks. It's meant to be very uplifting.
It is. It's got sunshine written all over it.
That is the idea.
That's right. And I read one review that said it's like a deep exhale, a breath of fresh air, a calm after pushing through a lot of uncertainty. There must have been something in your life going on when you write these songs. What did Coastin mean for you personally?
It's really, oh gosh, and I'll probably get like teary-eyed. Sometimes I get emotional when I talk about these things. But it's really about a special place for my husband and I. We live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're actually Indiana, PA now, which is just an hour like east of Pittsburgh. But we have a second home, a condo down in Boca Raton. And that's what Coastin. It's such a great place to go because my husband can get away from work a little bit and we can really connect down there. And that was the inspiration for the song. And plus, it's a beautiful place. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Just traveling through.
It's on the Atlantic coast.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a gorgeous South Florida, warm, sunny place to be.
It really captures it. The song is very sunny and uplifting. The lyrics, I really caught a sense of gratitude, presence, like you were describing being there. It feels like you've earned it. Let me put it that way.
I certainly have been doing this songwriting and performing thing for a very long time. And like I said, I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on my own music, where I've been doing cover songs for years and years. I started in a band in 1984. And I turned 60 in 2025, just a few months ago. So 2026 is my year, Mark.
That's right. I love that.
Kylie with the coastal hair. All the boys wanna be her best friend. Tan shoulders, flex on her face. I have a different wish. Peach tea and nights in Savannah. Multiple fantasies. Pawn shops, consignment and picking. She knows exactly what I need. Golden Sienna. We go down the highway to our destination. Yeah. Golden Sienna. Has up starting my life.
And you talk about putting your own story sometimes in these lyrics. The gratitude, the honesty, the authenticity. We use this word a lot, almost cliche-like now. But you're really trying to capture the reality of life in your lyrics.
Yes, I hope so. I've got a lot of reality in my life.
Yes, there you go.
I am a mom and a wife, and I've done the whole full-time career thing. I'm in a more fortunate situation now. My husband's a super hard worker, and so it allows me a little bit of freedom now to focus on music and just do what I love. I'm really blessed.
Yes. Of all the collaborations and bands we were talking about, I mentioned the song Drive you co-wrote with Ryan Tedder. That must have been very gratifying, first of all, the experience, but to earn the recognition, it obviously resonated with a lot of people. What did that collaboration teach you about your own songwriting process?
That one, I can remember that one very distinctly in the studio. So when I work with Ryan, a lot of times we'll work on the song at hand, but at the end of the session, he'll just create a few little beats for me to take home and work on it. And that day, I do remember that he was just going to give it to me to take home, but I had some lyrics in my phone that I had written. A lot of times when I'm driving to gigs, 'cause I do play regularly, I have a cover band called Hot Weather Holiday, and I play quite a bit with them and have for years. But a lot of times I'm driving to gigs, and driving's a great time to write songs because I feel like you're more creative when your mind is occupied with something mundane. So I find like cooking dinner or cleaning and driving, those are all great times to let the creative juices flow. And that I had written in my phone or just spoken into my phone about driving. And I was driving through Pittsburgh on the road, and I had just written some of these lyrics. I remember the city lights are glowing, bridges in the air. That's Pittsburgh. And I just had those words in my phone. And when he played this little beat for me, I said, "Oh, wait, I think I have something that will fit with that." And it was a miracle. It was the words, I just started singing to the song and the words worked.
Just
And the
started
melody
connecting.
worked. Yeah, it was great. That was a great experience.
I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I crave something Panama. We can meet at Panama. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I've been feeling without soul, and the city lights revive me, and the music of the town gets my blood pumping, makes me feel like bumping out of the tunnel. A city surprise, fireworks over the water tonight. Let's take the incline up to the sky. Baby, it's time to ignite. I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh.
We read a lot about trusting your creative instincts, especially in songwriting. I think this will fit. I feel like this goes with my story. I feel like this will connect. What about your creative instincts do you find that you have to really connect with?
Oh, I believe you've heard this from other guests on your show, but like the things that come the fastest to you are oftentimes the ones that are really the best or the ones you really connected with. The things that come fast that you're not belaboring over for a long time. And I definitely have had that experience where it almost feels that it's divine, that you look back on it and say, where did that come from? Those aren't even words I normally use. Or don't remember really having that thought, but it just came. And I feel like I've tapped into, I don't know, the divine or the Akashic record or something.
Yes.
And that kind of music comes to you. But for me, the creative process, a lot of times it's like a puzzle. It's doing a puzzle and it's fun. It is so much fun. And that's why I just can't stop. I probably wrote my first song when I was like 5,
Yeah.
a little song from me and my daddy. And since then, I've just loved the whole process of doing it. It's a puzzle. It's a good time. But yes, you tap into something outside yourself, I think.
And it seems on the one hand, yes, there's a process. You go through the steps, you go through production and so forth. But there's also the emotion part of it. And I don't know, is it an out of body experience? I'm not a songwriter, but in writing, sometimes you're like, wow, look at that. You're looking over it going, is that me? Is that my voice? It sounds like you've had these experiences where you're trying to tell a personal story.
Oh, definitely. It is any type of creative endeavor, there's a huge part of yourself in there. No matter what you're writing about, no matter who you're writing about or the situation, you can't avoid your own self perspective, your emotions, your feelings. That's all in there. But also, you have to find your inspiration. Inspiration is the hardest part because it can't all come from inside you. And I feel like inspiration on self is a little bit limited. You have to go outside to find. I've probably written 3 different songs about my son who is on the autism spectrum. He's a great one. I find so much inspiration with him, just observing his life and his challenges. And a lot of times when I write songs about him, I write in the first person from his perspective. But of course, there's a whole lot of me in there too.
Of course.
Yeah.
And not only your own story, but and outside inspiration, but I think about all the collaboration with all the other musicians, producers, writers, your cover band. There's a certain trust in that exchange, isn't there? If somebody plays a riff and you go, oh, I really like that. That's not how I imagined it. We're going to go there.
Yeah, there's a few different ways that I've written over the years, and they're all unique experiences. But yeah, when you're working with a band or working face to face and in the same room with a musician, like I wrote a lot of songs in the past with my brother-in-law and with other band members in different bands. And yeah, that's a whole different experience than just like when I'm in my car and I'm writing a melody and lyrics. I absolutely prefer 100% to work with the music first and where someone's giving, because that in itself has so much inspiration. When Ryan gives me a beat, or in past co-writers I've worked with where they're giving me the music first, you can get so much inspiration and you feel their feels, you feel their emotions that were in that song, and you connect. And that is, it's like I said, it's like a puzzle. That's when you're like, okay, what can I do with this? It's very exciting when you first get that first listen to something new. And of course, some of them don't connect, and some of them you say, I don't really have anything for this one. But when they do, it's just such a joyous feeling. And that's that puzzle that I'm sure other creatives feel the same way, where you can't put it down. You can't stop till you get it finished.
Exactly. And yet I also read, and maybe this was from the idea of Coastin. You can chase it, you can push it, you can pressure it, but eventually you have to let it coast. And it's the constant pressure to produce. I guess that's where I wanted to come around to. You've talked about your long career.
Right.
You're a seasoned professional, as I like to say.
Yeah.
But the work comes, whether you push it or not sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely have to find a way to tap into the creative side for those times when you're not feeling inspired. And you have to have your process that I have certain places where I like to go where I can write. And like I said, I feel that if you're doing something else, you tap into that creative part a little bit more. We have great woods here with trails where I live in Indiana, PA. And I absolutely love to be out walking on the trails, hiking, and I'll just play the beat from Ryan or from one of my other co-writers and just listen and listen. And I feel like when you get out there in nature, a little bit added, especially because this style that I like is optimism or that fresh air like Coastin. That definitely you can tap into that when you're out in nature. Then when we're in Boca, I like to walk. There's down in Deerfield Beach near where our condo is. There's like a 1 mile paver that we walk along there. And I like to take my music down there and walk along the beach and listen. And that nature, that great outdoors just comes right in. And I definitely have had a lot of success writing in those situations. Definitely feeling that energy from Mother Nature.
So good. My guest is Cathleen Ireland. We've been talking to her about her creative process and writing and telling her own personal stories. And I've got all the links to find Kathleen and her music in the show notes. The album is called In the City. So you'll want to keep up with her music and on all the platforms and upcoming projects. And I guess that's where I was going to go next, Kathleen, is what are you thinking about these days? And we like to savor the current creative, but we've always got something in the back of our mind. What are you thinking about next?
I do have 2 songs recorded with Ryan that I'm not sure if I'm going to release those as singles or hold on to them for a little while and get another album together. And yeah, I'm not sure. I am working on some new ones with him, and I have some shows coming up, like some festivals and things here in Pittsburgh, where I'm from. Those are coming up in the springtime. So looking forward to those and preparing for those.
That's good.
And
Thinking about inspiration for other songwriters, I see the list of competitions and festivals and even film festivals that you've entered your music videos in. What role do those play? We're often asked by creatives in all fields about award competitions, about festivals. I'm curious from your experience, what role those play for you?
I'll be 100% honest. As far as like film festivals, when I started entering film festivals, I was hoping that a filmmaker would hear my music and want to use it in one of their products. But that actually hasn't happened yet. However, it has been very rewarding. For one, it's great content. For one thing, we always have to be in this business. We have to be very creative with constant content. I'm not great at that. It's not natural for me. So having these awards from film festivals and attending some of those, that's great content. So I like that. But the song competition, I highly recommend for any songwriter because it is very validating to hear or to get those awards. And I've been awarded in many International Acoustic Songwriting Competition, the International Songwriting Competition, the UK Songwriting Competition, and I'm a finalist right now, one in Pittsburgh called Iron City Rocks. All of those kind of things are very rewarding, and you do need to do a little digging to find them. They don't always just crop up. You have to get out and dig for them and find them, but I highly recommend participating in those. It's great fun and exciting. And when you get those emails saying, oh, you got an award. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. So thinking about the inspiration for creatives who might be listening, they're in the middle of their own journey, their own climb. What's one thing you would share with another fellow writer, songwriter, performer, to remember about the process, trusting the process, having some patience with yourself? What would you share with them?
I would say that for those times when someone is feeling uninspired or when it seems a little bit difficult to come up with a new, fresh idea, to search inside and out. So start with yourself and find your calm place and let your world around you throw out what it will. I really believe it comes to you from beyond, from someplace else. So you have to be open to that. You have to be conscious of yourself, your feelings, emotions, and you also have to be present in your world around you. And like I said, I get a lot of inspiration from my family, and we're only 3 people. It's my husband, myself, and our one son.
Yes.
But I get a great deal of inspiration from my family and just being present, trying to be together and present with one another.
Oh, so good. I appreciate that insight. Kathleen, what a pleasure talking with you. I get so much from just your vibe, your spirit. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed listening to the music, that whole pop, soul, coastal R&B, I saw it called. It's like very coastal.
Excellent. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, good stuff.
I think my next album will have to be more coastal music.
Yes, let's do it. Thanks to Cathleen Ireland for joining us, and thank you, listeners, for coming by. We love traveling around the world talking to creative practitioners in places like Stockholm and Sydney, Australia, but also Pittsburgh. All over it was where creativity. So wherever you live, I think Kathleen's really reminded us it's right there. It's in your house. It's in your family. It's right outside your window. Roll down the window when you're driving to the next gig. That's where you can get inspiration.
That's right. And stick your head out like a dog.
So listeners, come back again as we continue these creative conversations. Until then, I'm Mark Stinson. We'll see you next time to unlock your world of creativity.